Let's bring in our Thursday night panel. Welcome back from the break. International panel, Sky News contributor Kosha Gada and former Labor MP Michael Danby. Welcome to you both. Let's talk about this big, beautiful bill first, Kosha. It's in the Congress, and as we speak, we could get this passed at some stage tonight. Can you give us that haven't followed what's in this bill as closely as you have, what exactly it means to average Americans, and do you believe it will get up?
Great to be with you, Steve. In the simplest of terms, this bill is trying to ratify in the legislature all of the policies that the Trump agenda has been pushing forward with the Trump admin right now. And there's many things in it, but there's three things most importantly. One is tax cuts. So these were the tax cuts that Trump had passed in his first term. They were due to sunset right now. It's a permanent extension of that. That is playing to his base of working class, middle class Americans who'd be beneficiaries of that. There's a little bit of spending cuts around some of the low income programs that we have, like Medicaid and SNAP. And the third thing, and the most important thing, is immigration enforcement, where it has the greatest funding package in the history of the country for immigration enforcement, everything from the border wall to more ICE agents to other deportation-related mechanisms that he wants. The reason why it's been controversial among the Republicans in particular is the spending cuts don't go deep enough. The looming debt and deficit remains in large part, and so some of them have held back on that, but Trump is prioritizing immigration over spending cuts, and because that's the most pressing issue for him. And in terms of will it pass or not, they can afford to lose 3 votes. There's 6 or 7 Republicans right now that are holding out, so there's lots of horse trading going on as we speak, but I do think most likely it will pass by the skin of its teeth.
Yeah, we saw some vision there of the debate going on in the House. Michael, speaking of Washington, speaking of politics in the US, critics have been pretty quick to say, look, Penny Wong went there, the foreign minister. She's come back from Washington empty-handed, no trade deal, no Trump meeting. I saw Alexander Downer on earlier with Danica, and he says that she's just sending the wrong message and sending the wrong message to the Americans. What do you make of where we're at with all of this right now?
Well, I think she's pleased she got the meeting. She should have, because it was a Quad meeting. Ominously, South Korea was strangely not there. We don't seem to have been able to get a special deal like the UK has. Starmer's managed to cut himself a special arrangement. And even the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, you wouldn't have thought they were very popular with the Trump administration, have managed to get themselves a good deal compared to China. So they'll only get a 20% tariff. It's ominous what that pollster said the other day about Kevin Rudd not being liked. I saw Kevin was in the paper in the Australian 2 days ago trying to say that Trump is a smart guy for what he managed to do in the Middle East. But I don't think that'll be enough, unfortunately. It seems that they've got him as a marked man. I know Steve Bannon doesn't like him.
Kosha, on all of this, I was impressed with Marco Rubio at that Quad press conference at the end, where he had the Japanese foreign minister, the Indian foreign minister, and Penny Wong. He said, look, let's stop talking. Let's start making this Quad thing work. And he took the conversation into a conversation about rare earths and how that could be something the Quad could get together and do. He seemed to be sending a message, Kosha, I don't know if you agree, about let's get on with it. Let's do something. Let's just have meetings.
Well, for sure, action is what this administration prides himself in being, and moving on Trump time, I think, is what Marco Rubio has said himself in the past of how they function. And the rare earths thing is interesting because that is one of the few areas where Australia, certainly, and other countries in this region have some leverage, something to offer and to bring to the table that the United States really, really covets, that China covets and has very smartly been buying up parts of land around the world that are economically poor but rich in rare earths. And the U.S. definitely and Marco Rubio have a strategy to try and rebalance that. And I think it's no coincidence that he focused in and zeroed in on that issue in particular.
Michael, we've got this torturous debate about how much we should spend on defence, and then the government, I guess it's coincidence, that Penny Wong returns back to the country and we suddenly announce a $2.1 billion missile purchase to boost air defence and strike power. Is that sending a message back to the Americans that, OK, we hear you, we're going to do something?
Maybe it's be a re-announcement of previous expenditure, Steve, until they raise the amount that they're spending on these things. I said on Sky 2 nights ago that our air bases all around the country do not have modern air defence missiles. And one of these purchases is meant to be for such air-to-ground missiles, but it's being deployed by our new 10th Brigade. Mate, we're short of 5,000 people in the ADF. I don't know where this new 10th Brigade is coming from. I'm concerned, and people who are, in Canberra should be digging into this more in the press gallery. Where's this 10th Brigade? Is this a re-announcement of just old expenditure? And I could provide a list on air if you want, and there are lots of people who could, of the kinds of things that Albo should be doing. These air defence missiles are good, but are they old expenditure?
Kosha, in a word, can the Donald Trump ceasefire between Israel and Hamas hold?
We hope so. I think the 60-day ceasefire is a starting point. I mean, this region is just so conflicted for millennia. So we shall see. But I think he's gotten further than anybody has in recent times. And people are hopeful for that and for his upcoming meeting with Netanyahu next week.
Kosha, Michael, thank you very much for joining us.